Hey guys, Kevin Muldoon here. I'm back with another car charger review. This is a device that's been marketed and sold by a company called Perbeat. You can see it there. Now, although it's got the Perbeat label there, there's no Perbeat branding on this box, and it doesn't look like there's any on the device itself either. So, in other words, this is a generic car charger from China. That means that basically this will be sold under a number of different names, number of different brands, and being sold by a number of different companies. So although this one is being sold by Perbeat, that's the one I bought, you know, if you find this online and it's been sold by a different company, then this review is applicable to the one that you're buying. Now, just to kind of run through some of the features here, it's got two dual USB ports. It's got a little button there that you can use for answering the phone, hanging up, play or pausing. It's got a blue flashing LED light, and it's got a 3.5mm connector. And you can see some things in the back. It's got the built-in microphone for calls, hands-free calling and all that. Now, just to clarify something about this, because when I picked this up, I wasn't 100% sure about the features, and yeah, I think they're a little bit misleading actually. Okay, that's nothing in the box. So what I mean by that is, you see the play button and you see the get this right out. This play pause button, you see the dual USB ports. You might make the assumption that this can take a USB drive, such as that, but it does not. It does not do that. Also, when I saw it, I saw that this aux-in cable, and I thought this was, initially I thought that this was for your phone, like that. It's not. This is to go into your aux-in port in your car. I also thought, because it says Bluetooth audio receiver, I thought that you could connect it without the cable and just connect it using Bluetooth. But in order to connect to your car, you need to put this cable in. So essentially this is how it works. You put this in your car charger, you put this into your aux-in port. If your car does not have an aux-in port, you cannot use this device. You need an aux-in port. So you need to have an aux-in port. You can put this in, and then you can use this. This will work via Bluetooth to your phone. So I'm kind of mumbling there, but I'll explain in a second. I'm going to go down to my car and I'll show you exactly how this works. So I'm now in my car. I've plugged this in and I made a call to my parents. The quality of the microphone seems okay. I was hoping to show you that on the call, but you know, I don't think my parents would have liked being on video. My little brother's working and my girlfriend's sleeping, so you know, I don't want to hold back this review, so I'll just move ahead. On the in the user guide, it's only about 3 or 4 pages long, but it's got everything that you need. It tells you specifications, and then it tells you how to work it. And the key thing that you want to see here, if I can get it, is that the audio receiver, the Bluetooth name is C22X. Now, mine's is paired already because I made the call before. Here's what you need to do when you come into your car. So you come into your car and you've got your charger. You plug it in here. You see the blue light going. Now you need to put it into your aux-in. Now in a lot of cars, the aux-in cable is at the front. And what I will say is that this stretch of cable, it's actually really good. I really like this because, you know, if you've got it short there, or whether you've got it right in your glove box, you know, you should be able to stretch it. That being said, you know, it would be better to have it in the front console here. If it's in your glove box, which a lot of aux-in ports are, you're going to have to, you know, kind of wire it around and maybe clip it in somewhere so that it's not in the way of the passenger. Mine's isn't in the front console. Mine's is underneath my armrest. So if I can get it in here. Now you can see I've got it on the aux there, but if you come into your car, most people would probably have it on the radio or CD. So if you come in and it's on that, make sure you change your mode to aux. So at this time, the blue light is flashing, and I'll just get here. Just now you can see there it's connected to C22X. So we're connected. What I want to show you now is how this works, and essentially there's only one button. If I start playing something on my phone, it will, you know, it will start playing through my car's audio system. But there is a play button. This works as play and pause, and it also works as answer and hang up. So if I push play, you'll notice something. It's not doing anything. When I did this before, something silly actually happened. What it did was it actually started playing some Spanish instruction thing that I've got locked away in Google Play Music, and you know, something that I never use, and it started playing that, but it's not doing that now, simply because I'm recording a video, and whenever you do something live, nothing goes to plan. So if I push play here, there's the music playing. Change it. There's Bob Dylan. Now, this has no functionality as far as changing track. You can't change tracks, you can't do anything like that at all. But the play pause button should work. And it does. Now, depending on what you're looking for, that's either a good thing, you know, it's either a good thing or it's not a thing. And the reason I'm saying that is, like, you know, if you come in, I've got this set up here. So, I've got that there. You've got, that's the MPOW holder, by the way. It's quite really good. I really like that. You set it up there. Now this is going Bluetooth to here. Now in my previous setup, that one I was using a long time, I was using this USB and the wire had to go all the way up. So I had the wire running all the way up to my phone. Now that I've got my phone here, really when I'm driving, I'll set it off playing, and then when I'm driving I could just push this button down here. To be honest though, I mean, the way that I've got things set up, it's just as easy for me to push play there. Maybe a little bit easier, you know, if the screen goes, if my screen goes on to sleep, then I've got this play button. Now, again, you can see this is all plugged in. It's kind of stopping my armrest. What I wanted to quickly do is, this is always a struggle trying to do things one-handed, but what I do is plug in charging cable. So I've got a USB type C connector to my phone, and what I'm going to do now is test it using this multimeter. So what you do is you plug in the multimeter. So we've got here. So we need to try and get this in here. If you can get it in shot, it's saying this is drawing. It was drawing about 1.45. It's now down to about 1.3 amps. In the box, it says that the total is 3.4 amps. Now, just to bear in mind, my phone has got 62%, so I'm not going to get the full charge anyway, the maximum. But that's quite a good charge. That's what I would expect from an AC adapter in the house and from, you know, like a power bank. If I try the other USB stick, see what I get from this. And that one's going 1.45 down to 1.3, so both of them are giving me a good rating. I can't try both of them at the same time, but one of the things I pointed out with the last thing, the last car charger I pointed out, was the other one it also took a USB stick. Now the problem with the other one was that, you know, when you put in the USB stick like that, the other port became unusable. That is not going to be an issue because this doesn't take a USB stick, it doesn't take an SD card or anything like that. All it can do is take the charging cable. So you can fit in 2 charging cables there, no problem. You won't have a problem fitting 2 USB cables there, and they should charge okay. Now, here's the thing. This, in fact, I'll turn you around just for a second. Right, here's the thing about this charger, right? I'll take it off just now. My first impressions are that the audio is really good, is as good as you would expect. Now, from a feature point of view, this is really bad. You know, you might be looking at this compared to other devices and say that this sucks. It doesn't take a USB stick. It doesn't take a memory card. It doesn't take, you know, it doesn't have any other features like that. You know, you can't play, you can't pause. But there's actually some benefits to this. Now, firstly, if you look at what I was using before. This one required me to plug this into my the headphone jack on my phone, and then you just tuned in the station. That worked great, by the way, for what it is. Now, this only has play or pause, but when I'm driving, I'd probably prefer to control everything through my phone anyway if I was skipping tracks. And, you know, it's a little bit of a pain. I mean, I think sometimes Bluetooth is good, but as far as, you know, as far as an FM transmitter goes, as far as Bluetooth goes, this avoids some of the problems that you get with an FM transmitter. You know, with an FM transmitter, I got this when I was travelling down to England. When I'm travelling about in central Scotland, I don't really get too many problems as far as interference goes. I don't have to retune the station from 88.1 to another station. That is something I would never have to worry about with this, because this goes directly into the aux in. I never have to worry about like retuning it when I go to you know, any part of the country. And that was a problem when I travelled down to Manchester recently. We went on holiday from Manchester Airport, and when we were travelling down, there was quite a lot of, you know, parts down the south of England, the north of England, south of Scotland, where there was interference and I couldn't listen to my music anymore. This completely avoids it. It's got 2 USB charging ports, which is really good. The play pause functionality, I think, is fine. And, you know, I think what I found out from the last charger that I found that I used, that little cheap one from iFun for You, was that as good as it is to have a USB flash drive, I think USB flash drives and, you know, car chargers don't really work well together, because you're controlling them through your car charger itself. You know, you would have to go through that. I mean, you try, there's one button there, but imagine there was a fast forward and a rewind button there. Can you imagine trying to skip through hundreds of albums using 2 little buttons? You can't skip folders, there's not an LCD screen. It just isn't user friendly. So I kind of like how simple this is, if you know what I mean. I didn't think I would. I honestly looked at this and I thought I was bound to give this a bad review. But this works really well. This works amazingly. The only thing I would notice, see if you look here in the camera, see the cable where it connects here? Now, if you look at my last one, over time, this happened. I tried to tape it up, but it came down. But basically, the wire became frayed. And it's hanging, you know, it's only a matter of time before that dies. And when that happens, this goes in the bin. There is a small risk of that happening. So, you know, as far as, I think that is one negative of it. You know, I think it would have been great if this just had an aux-in port and then you just got a separate aux-in cable. You know, and then, you know, if this ever frayed, you could just, you know, you could just put another aux-in cable in if that was happening. But I'm really happy with this. I think if you're looking for a really simple solution, I think this is really good. It's got 2 chargers, both charging points work well. It's got a play pause button, which also works as the answer and hang up button. As long as you've got an aux-in port and you're just wanting something very, very simple, I think this is a really good option. It's really cheap, and it does depend on where your aux-in port though is. Mine's is under my armrest, but it actually works out really well because of that. It works out really well. And now, instead of having a cable from my phone here down to my car charger, which sometimes gets in the way of my gear stick, I've got it just coming in my armrest, so it's not in the way. It's not in the way at all. I'm never going to get interference with this anymore as well. So that means I don't have to go through the radio and tune it to 88.1, etc. And if I'm acting surprised, it is because I am surprised. Honestly, you know, when I look at this, 2 USB ports and 1 button and a cable, it looks like a cheap generic Chinese piece of crap. But I have to give kudos. This is actually really good. I really like this, and I'm going to start trying this out. I've got another one from Perbeat that I'm going to try. So, you know, I think once I've done a lot of reviews, I'll look back at this and perhaps my perception of it will change. But just now, I think as a simple solution, this is good. It's not the best in the market. You know, there are, you know, other options out there with more features. But, oh, my infotainment will shut down 2 minutes. I don't know if that's to save battery. Yeah, so I think this is quite good. It's got 2 charging points. It'll connect to your aux-in. You can do calls whenever this is plugged in. There's no messing around with stations and all that kind of thing. It just works, and I think that is a big plus point. If you get any questions about it, please do let me know, and I'll do my best to answer them. If you enjoyed the video, please do consider liking or sharing the video and subscribing to future videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, take care.